Let me ask a follow-up question, all right?
Go ahead.
Go for
So
it.
what are some qualities, really quickly, that make up
Ooh.
a championship player?
You just repeat that because I talked over you. I'm sorry.
What are some qualities that make up a championship player? And who are the players that have those qualities, and who are the players that don't have those qualities?
Oh my God.
You want to go first, or
You should have saved that for a whole nother day.
no? This actually ties in very well.
It does.
And the segment's not long enough yet, so
What? Well, are we talking about players who already have won or have not won?
he's asking for the
Qualities of a championship player. Like, what are some attributes that a championship player has?
Right.
Whether it's mental, whether it's physical, whatever it might be, in your view.
Ooh. Well, of course, physical. They have to be not injury prone to play
Okay.
to win.
So
of
in shape.
course, in
Very
shape.
good.
Of course, you can't be a Kawhi and not. You're not. Well, if you're Kawhi and the Raptors are going to win.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're Kawhi and the Clippers, I don't think you're going to win.
well, Kawhi and the Raptors was healthy.
Yeah, exactly. Mentality, definitely. You got to be determined. You got to be gritty, not to dance. But you got to be like the Grimace Mets
I don't get
right
that
now.
reference.
Yeah.
No, just not have someone throw out a first pitch and now you win. But no, not like that. There's a lot. Just mental. You got to be Jokic, I think, in the head.
Okay, so
You have to
he's
be
one
just-
player.
you gotta
You have to be
you-
Serbian. Got it.
You have to be. You have to be a team player. You have to
7'2".
7'2".
6'11".
I don't know.
6'11".
What
Yeah.
else do you have to add for attributes?
I have
for
a lot to add,
championship?
actually.
Go
Let's
ahead.
hear it.
So I'm kind of quoting LeBron because he said this on the first episode of his podcast, but you gotta there's a lot of that goes into it. A lot hands on, hands off. Like you gotta know the game, know the history of the game, know the ones that came before
Wow.
you. You adapt your play style, stuff like that. You need to be able to be physically fit. I think we all know that. Being in shape, being healthy is too vague of a statement. You need to be strong enough mentally, physically. You need to have the endurance, the stamina to play through all those playoff games. As for mentality, you need to put your body on the line. You need to dive for loose balls. You need, like I'm sure Russell Westbrook would dive for all those loose balls, like Aaron Gordon, having that dog in you, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Embracing the big moments, not shrinking under the lights, I think is also very important
Yeah.
because when the game goes into its clutch time, that's what separates good from great players. But I
Yeah.
think the biggest thing, for me at least, is basketball IQ. I think IQ is single-handedly the most important thing any player can have for a championship because, like LeBron said, once you get to the conference finals and the finals, basketball IQ really kicks in. And there are certain moments in games that not even your coach can prepare you for. No one can prepare you for. You need to make those adjustments on the fly. And if you have good basketball IQ, like we saw last season with Nikola Jokic, and like we saw seasons past with LeBron and with Steph and KD and all those guys, basketball IQ is what carries you through. And if you're generating offense, if you're running the entire sequence, that's what's most important to me, at least, because you need to be the guy, like a quarterback almost. You need everything, and that, I think vision ties into that as well. Vision. JJ Redick calls it court mapping, I think. And look, when you know your players and you know chemistry, right? When you know someone's going to be in the corner, you can throw that ball to the corner without even looking.
And before they're even there.
Exactly. Why do you think there's a lot of times you'll see a turnover, a guy's in the corner, he starts running out towards the wing, he throws it out of bounds to the corner.
Right.
Those last second movements can be fatal in a playoff game. So I think all of that is quite important as far as that goes. And then, look, I think it's just being mentally tough. I think if like I said, you can't shrink in high intensity moments, even just in life in general. Why do you think a lot of job applications say, must be willing to work under time crunches and meet certain deadlines? If you can't do that, then you're not fit for the job. I think the same applies to the NBA. I know a lot of times we put these guys on different stratospheres. At the end of the day, they're human beings that are employees doing their jobs, just at a much more stressful level. But
That's good.
at the end of the day, you still need that same sort of mentality.
Yeah.
And the second part of your question was what? Like who has
Yeah, like who are some players that have it
and don't?
and who are some that don't have it?
I think we did see
And players that haven't won, right?
right players that haven't won.
Yeah.
I think we have definitely seen all of the good from Victor Wembanyama so far.
Okay.
I think we've definitely seen all of it. I think we've seen the same from Chet as well. We've seen both of them really take care of their bodies and really put their bodies on the line, and you're seeing the IQ kind of show. I think we're also seeing a lack of mental toughness from Luka Doncic and Joel Embiid. And even guys that have won have still shown that, like Giannis.
Yeah.
You're still seeing the shrinkage. And that's kind of, and it's a little worrisome, right? When you kind of see that, obviously there are guys that, whether they're all-stars or not, like you see Mikal Bridges and Kevon Looney are just Iron Men. They don't get hurt. So I think you definitely see a lot of it from across the board, across the spectrum, from guys that are stars, guys that aren't bench players, starters, stuff like that.
I think. So you said mental toughness. I agree with that, but I'm going to take it another level.
Okay.
And I'm going to say you need to be a little bit sick in the head. You have to be a little sick. Like, you have to like pain. You have to love pain. You have to embrace pain, because winners, to me, they win in the off season.
Right.
So, like, for example, I'm going to bring up probably the greatest winner in recent times, Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
In the offseason, he would go through the most painful, excruciating workouts. And not only did that put him in the best shape out of everyone in the NBA, but it made his mind, it put his mind in shape. Because when you're working out like that, it's brutal to your body, but it's also brutal to your mind.
Right.
And so if he's in that type of shape mentally, physically, you have no competition.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And so you have to be sick in the head. You got to be a little insane to have it.
Have you seen that meme, Antoine, of Trent, where it's like, when there is delusion, there is hope? That's essentially what it is. And
No, yeah.
Why do you think I love Jokic so much?
Yeah.
In the off season, all we see is him partying in Serbia. He's lifting every day.
Yeah.
There was actually a clip. He was playing basketball the other day in Serbia. He was playing 3-on-3 in the park.
Did you see the video of him in the club too?
Yeah.
He's funny.
And even like he lifts after every game, like most teams do. But I think that's obviously a big part of it.
Yeah.
And it really just going the extra miles. And like LeBron said, sometimes you have to sacrifice loved ones in order to be great. It's like missing, some family time, unfortunately, or not going out with friends or anything of that nature. Sometimes you need to put the hours in.
Yeah.
That's another reason why you would be a little sick if you're not spending time with your loved ones.
Did you ever see when Kobe passed, J-Will was on ESPN, and I forgot who was interviewing him, but I don't know. I think J-Will was playing against Kobe. So I think they were at the Staples Center when it was a Staples Center, and when he got to the arena, like really early, regardless, Kobe was already out shooting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And he just sat there, he said, and he was just watching Kobe shoot. And once he got up to shoot, and was done with his workout, Kobe was still shooting after he was done, and he went to the locker room. So he came back out, I think after his shower, and Kobe was still shooting. And it's on, you can find this video. It's on YouTube. And J-Will went up to Kobe. He's like, what the fuck is this guy on?
Wow.
He went up to him, and he's like, Kobe, he's like, you've been out here before I got here, and I just took a shower, and you're still out. He's like, why are you doing this? He's like, because I will work just as much as you, if not harder, because I want to be better than you. Something along those lines.
Like
yeah,
that.
Something along
He
those lines.
says, I'm going to work as much as you, but more. Or I'm going to work twice as much as you work in a day to get better at this game.
Right.
And J-Will's like, that stuck with me ever since I met Kobe for the first time, and I ran with it. And Kobe showed it on the court.
Right.
Can I add one more thing to kind of close? Because there is one more thing that really can separate it, and that's the chip on the shoulder. Yeah. And we just saw this year's Finals MVP have that with Jaylen Brown. Going all the way back even to before he got drafted, remember the tweet?
Yeah.
When he said, my teacher said she'll look me up in the Cobb County jail.
Yes.
And even not only did he prove her wrong and make the NBA, we saw last season, my God, he was abysmal in the conference finals.
Yeah.
Could not dribble with either hand.
Yeah.
Just got pickpocketed by Gabe Vincent and Max Strus and Jimmy Butler all night. We saw him right after that sign the most expensive contract in NBA history, making $305 to $307 million to a guy that couldn't dribble with his left hand. And look at him now. Put the work in and just proved everyone wrong.
Yeah.
I think that's also important, because guys that win, they're born, obviously not made, but obviously you don't realize that until later on sometimes, There are guys like Michael Jordan and LeBron James who were great right away.
Right.
But there are guys like Jaylen Brown who, had to struggle. And, I think that's what's part of growth. where you need to get knocked down a few pegs to kind of get yourself back up.
Yeah.
And I think that's where stuff's important. That's why I think Boston and Denver specifically are built like San Antonio, because they experienced the failures and the playoff pain. Now look at them. They've been two of the most dominant champions we've seen since the Dynasty Warriors.
Yeah. Wow. I'm 100% agree.